Okay, stage one, Math Apps B, simple and compound interest revision questions. Key formulas we need to know for simple interest. I equals PRT. So I is interest, P is principal, R is the rate of decimal, and T is time. And for compound interest, future value equals present value, 1 plus I to the n, where FV is future value, PV is present value, I is the interest rate per period, and n is the number of periods. So Daniel borrows $4,000 at a flat rate of 8% per annum for 5 years. How much interest does he owe? So key here is flat rate, so we're talking about simple interest. So we write down our facts. So principal is $4,000. Our rate is 8% per annum, which is going to be 0.08, and our time is 5 years. So our formula, I equals PRT, so equals 4,000 times by 0.08 times by 5. So equals, this is where we grab our calculator. And so on our calculator, we're going to write 4,000 times 0.08 times by 5. And we get $1,600. Daniel owes $1,600 interest. Calculates monthly repayments over that time. So B talks about monthly repayments. So we need our total amount. So total equals our principal plus our interest. So it's going to be equal to 4,000 plus 1,600. So it's going to be 5,600. So repayments are going to be equal to total divided by time. Now n equals 5 years times by 12 months. So it's going to be 5 times 12. So it's going to be 60 periods. So equals 5,600 divided by 60. So it's actually 560 divided by 6. So again, we grab our calculator. 5,600 divided by 60, and that gives us $93.33. In fact, when we're doing money, we always round up, so it's going to be 34 cents. It means our last month's repayment is going to be slightly less. So with this now, we can say Daniel will repay $93.34 per month. Next one, recalculate A and B if another bank offers Daniel a flat rate of 7% for 6 years, and then we need to do which loan is better. So what we're going to do is scroll down a bit. So C. So our principal is still going to be 4,000. Our rate now, our new rate is going to be 7% per annum. 7% per annum, and our time is going to be 6 years. So I equals PRT equals 4,000 times by 0.07 times by 6. So we grab our calculator. So 4,000 times by 0.07 times by 6 equals 1680. So we can again work out his repayments. So repayments. So let's first about work out our total equals interest plus principal. So that's 1680 plus 4,000. So that's going to be 5,680. So repayments equals 5,680 over, now n this time is going to be 6 times 12, which is going to give me 72 repayments. So 72. So again, we'll grab our calculator. So 5680 divided by 72. So it's going to be $78.89 per month. So for part D, it asks us which is better. So I'm not going to tell you necessarily. So for A and B, we've got less interest, but higher repayments. So we've got less interest, higher repayments, shorter time. For C, we've got a high interest, but less repayment amount. But it's a longer time. And really it comes down to your individual circumstance, which one you decide to choose on that. So whether you choose a less interest, so you're going to pay $80 less over the time, but you're going to be financially harder hit because you're going to be paying $93 or $94 per month in A, but you're only paying so around $80 a month in B, but it's going to take you an extra year to pay off and you're paying $80 more in total. Question 2. Calculate the interest earned from an investment of $9,000 at a flat rate of 6% per annum for 7 months. So again, we go through. Principal equals 9,000. Our rate equals 6% per annum. So that's going to be 0.06. And time equals 7 months. So that's going to be 7 over 12. So it's 7/12 years. So I equals PRT, so equals 9,000 times by 0.06 times by 7 over 12. So again, we grab our calculator. So we go 9,000 times by 0.06 times by 7 over, oh, hang on, let's just get our time sign in there, times 7 over 12, and we find out we've had to earn $315 interest. The interest, so let's write that somewhere. Interest of 315 has been earned. So let's go to the next one. Question 3. How much would you need to invest in a flat rate of 4.5% per annum over 3.5 years to accumulate $500 interest? So this one, principal equals question mark. I equals $500. Rate equals 4.5% per annum. So equals 0.045. And time equals 3.5 years. So I equals PRT, or P equals I over RT, so equals 500 over 0.045 times by 3.5. So I'll grab our calculator. So 500 divided by 0.045. See, where'd my bracket go? So bracket 0.045 times 3.5. Close my bracket. So how much do I need to invest? I need to invest 3174.60. You need to invest $3,174.60. Cornelius decides to invest $6,000 for 10 years. Flat rate of interest would he need to double his money? So, principal, 6,000. If he wants to double his money, he needs his interest to be 6,000. R equals question mark, because we don't know that yet. And time equals 10 years. So I equals PRT. So we got 6,000 equals 6,000 R times by 10. So we're going to have R equals 6,000 over 6,000 times by 10. 6,000 cancel out, so R equals 0.1. So therefore, Cornelius needs a rate of 10% per annum to double his money over that time. Question 5. Seth has 3,000 to invest in a bank offering a flat rate of 6.5% per annum. How many months would Seth need to invest his money for if he wants to earn $8,000 interest? So again, P equals 3,000. I equals 800. R equals 6.5% per annum. T equals question mark. So I equals PRT. So we've got 800 equals 3,000 times by 0.065. So 0. So 0.065 times by T. So T equals 800 over 3,000 times by 0.065. Get rid of some zeros. Again, grab our calculator. So we've got 8 divided by bracket 30 times 0.065. Close bracket. So 4.1 years. Now the question states up here, how many months does he need? Okay, and so what we need to do here is times, so that's years, so we're going to have 4.1 times by 12 is going to give us how many months we need. So again, grab our calculator back out. So we're going to use that answer, times it by 12 months in a year. So that's going to equal 49.2 months. Seth will need to invest for 50 months. Why have I gone up to 50? Because we need that 0.2 of a month there to be able to get up to the over $800 interest. He's going to earn more than $800 interest because he's got 0.8 of an extra month there he's got in interest for. So there. Question 6. Fredrina receives an inheritance of $80,000 and decides to invest money for 20 years at an interest rate of 7.5% compounded yearly. what would be the value of investment after 20 years? So we want to work out our future value. Our present value is $80,000. Our interest rate is 7.5% per annum. Luckily enough, we're compounded yearly, so we don't have to do any changes there. And our number of periods is 20 years. We've got 20 periods because 1 year is 1 period. So future value equals present value, 1 plus I to the n, so equals 80,000. 1 plus 0.075 to the 20. So equals, so again, grab our calculator. So 80, 1, 2, 3, times by 1.075, because I just added them together already. And then we need to go to the 20th power. Let's execute. And so after 20 years, going to have $339,828.09. 69. I'm sure that looks like a 9. So down here we can say Fredrina would have 339,828.09. So that's how much they have after 20 years. Repeat question 6 is the bank pays interest quarterly. So again, we want to work out our future value. So the present value equals 80,000. Now, our interest, 7.5% per annum. So we're going to bring 7.5 divided by 4 because there's 4 quarters per year. And we can calculate that because I know you're all desperately wanting to get it as a decimal. 7.5 divided by 4. So 1.875% per period. That's going to be 0.01875 there. And our periods now is going to be 20 years times by 4 periods per year. So 2 4s are 8, so it's going to be 80 periods. So our future value equals our present value, 1 plus I to the n, so it's going to be 80,000, bracket 1 plus 0.01875, all to the 80. So again, we're using our calculator. 80, 1, 2, 3, times by bracket 1.01875, bracket all to the 80 equals, it's going to be $353.589.80. So obviously going to be slightly more than the previous answer, which was only 339. So now it's 353. So if we repeat the same again, except paid fortnightly, so future value equals question mark, present value equals 80,000. Our interest rate 7.5% per annum. That's going to be 7.5 divided by, now it's 26, because there's 52 weeks in a year. Half of 52 is 26. So that's going to give us a decimal there. Let's grab our calculator out. 7.5 divided by 26 gives me 0.288% per annum. So that's going to be 0.00288 as a decimal. And our periods now are going to be 20 years times by, we said there's 26 fortnights in a year. So it's going to be 20, see, not using that. Let's get rid of that. 20 times by 26. That gives me 520 periods. So future value equals present value, 1 plus I to the n, so equals 80,000, 1.00288 to the 520. Again, put down in the calculator, 80, 1, 2, 3, times by bracket 1.00288, bracket, all to the 520. And now we've got 356,906.64. So again, you can see that's 356, that's 353, and that's 339. So you can see here, going from yearly to quarterly, a big interest increase. Going to fortnightly is an increase again. Fredrina's husband, needs $8,000 to pay for an overseas holidays in 4 years' time. The bank offers him an interest rate of 6% per annum compounded yearly. How much does he need to invest? So our future value here is going to be $8,000. Our present value equals question mark. Our interest is going to be 6% per annum, and our compounded yearly is per annum, so that's going to be 0.06. And our periods is going for 4 years' time, so it's going to be 4 periods. So future value equals present value, 1 plus I to the n. So 8,000 equals present value, 1.06 to the 4. So present value equals 8,000 divided by 1.06 to the 4 equals, grab our calculator, 8, 1, 2, 3, divided by bracket, 1.06, bracket to the, let's see, let's put a bracket there, to the 4. So he needs to invest 6,336.75. So he needs to invest that much money. So which bank has a better investment? Bank A or Bank B? So Bank A, it's a flat rate of that. So that's going to be our principal equals 8,000. Rate equals 9% per annum, so it's 0.09, and time equals 5 years. I equals PRT, so it equals 8,000 times by 0.09 times by 5 equals, so again we get our calculator out, 8,000 times by 0.09 times by 5 equals 3,600. So total equals interest plus principal, so equals 3,600 plus 8,000, so equals 11,600. Alright, so the next one, we've got present value being $8,000. We've got our interest being 8% per annum, but it's weekly, so it's going to be 8 divided by 52. So again, I'm going to use my calculator here. Don't know about you, but I'm not great on my 52ths. So 8 divided by 52. So 0.1538. So that's going to be 0.0, that's percent. So 0.001538 as my multiplier. And my periods equals 5 times by 52. Calculator, 5 times 52 is 260. Period. So future value equals present value, 1 plus I to the n, so equals 8,000, 1 plus 0.001538 to the 260, so equals 80,000. No, hang on, let's scrub that, scrub that, scrub that. So let's use our calculator. 8,000 times by 1.001538 bracket all to the 260 equals 11929.50. So you'll earn more. You'll earn $329.50 more with B. Last question, consider 5,000 invested in either a simplest interest or compound interest rate. Describe the difference of how the money would grow. Use a graph to aid your description. So, just doing a quick sketch. Simple interest would go like this. So simple interest, that's linear. So that's time, and this is value. And our compound interest will look like that. So compound interest. And this is what we call exponential. And that, my folks, is the end of the worksheet. Thank you.